I'd like to thank everyone for attending. I'd like to thank everyone for your support over the past 5 years now since I've entered politics. I'd like to begin. 2 years ago, I stood here as the sole councilman in front of this very same building and levied a long list of dysfunctions in our town government. And at that time, I was determined to make a difference for all of you. And so during that time, I led the way to forget politics as usual. And I'm so proud that we achieved the much needed and productive change in this town. We changed the way the board operates. We increased transparency. And I was able to work in a bipartisan way to effect real financial solutions for the town of Ossining. My party label is a Republican, but I don't subscribe to traditional party politics. Working with my Democratic colleagues, working families colleagues, independents colleagues, conservative colleagues here in the town and village of Ossining, I was able to accomplish great things. We found solutions to many of the problems that have been ongoing, ignored, and were detrimental to our community. And while at times there have been some differences amongst me and my colleagues, we actually worked together and we compromised. Unfortunately, everything accomplished in the last 2 years should have been executed in the first 2 years of my term. But as I have come to learn, having obstructionists in government makes the job that much tougher. Once the gridlock moved out, we were able to get the job done. But obstructionists should not have one platform when they're running for office and a different platform once they get in. As a councilman and public servant, I've used my work ethic and bipartisanship, my education of a master's degree in public administration, my understanding of American history, to really create positive leadership in Ossining. And I'm just going to go through a number of these things. Just recently, we're going to have a savings of over $500,000 in overhead costs on this building alone in the next 5 years. We are hopefully anticipating the future sale of this building, which will provide gross earnings of over $1 million and stop the piles of endless debt and bring much needed revenue to our town and school district. The town of Ossining elected and appointed officials who, when I first came into office, paid nothing as part-time employees for taxpayer-funded health care. They now pay a reasonable premium for taxpayer-funded health care. We've consolidated our engineering services with the village of Ossining and ended the town's nepotism with costly consultants. We actually are saving about $250,000 every year from eliminating one consultant from our budget. These achievements came with their ups and downs, but I always knew, and I still know today, that being an elected representative, being a voice of the people, is not about Republicans or Democrats. It's about working for the public. And I want everyone to know that I want what is best for you, for my community. I do not want what's best for myself. As each of the solutions I just read off replaced a long overdue problem one by one, I found myself considering, how can I make a difference for more people? If I could deliver such broad and positive change to our town government, I thought and imagined, what could I do for the residents of Cortland, Peekskill, and Croton, as well as Ossining and Briarcliff? Like you, I've witnessed a board of legislators on our Westchester County level that's more interested in playing political games than producing actual real results. They're more interested in pointing fingers than facilitating progress. More interested in rhetoric than work ethic. That includes my opponent, our current legislator. She's a legislator that walked out on her job. Seriously, she did not vote yes or no on the 2013 county budget. District 9 had no representation on the decision of our county budget. This is unacceptable. For nearly 4 years, it has been my honor to represent you as an Ossining Town board member. And while at times it has been a tough challenge, with your support, it's also been extremely rewarding. And today, I stand before you to announce that while I've decided not to seek re-election, I do seek your support. With your support, we begin today to embark on a new campaign, a campaign about bringing reform, fiscal responsibility and fair representation to the Westchester County Board of Legislators. I will always protect home rule and local zoning. As a member of the Housing Opportunity Commission of Westchester County, I stand up for fair and affordable housing. But I do not believe in giving the federal government the right to erect multi-story units in neighborhoods that don't allow for this type of zoning. Yes. Let me make this very clear. We need a county legislator that does not demand local governments dismantle their zoning and planning rights. We need a legislator that will stand up for property owners and local governments, as I have right here on this very road. I also intend to provide real tax relief for county taxpayers by rooting out and exposing unnecessary spending, as I did here in the town of Ossining. Seniors, families, young professionals that struggle to live in Westchester need a representative that understands them. A legislator that understands government budgets must be scrutinized like their own. When I saw a consultant earning double his full-time salary as a part-time consultant here in the town of Ossining, I immediately called for that agreement to be terminated. And my opponent now, as town supervisor, chose to waste $250,000 a year by continuing this financially irresponsible arrangement. Upon her exit from the town board, my colleagues and I ended this nepotism. We consolidated this service with the village of Ossining, and we got real tax savings because of it. My candidacy offers the voters of this district a bipartisan, fresh voice of common sense, not the echo of someone taking direction from down-county party bosses. White Plains, and let me make this clear, is not Albany, it's not Washington, D.C. It's a local county government. These partisan games have no place there. My record speaks for itself. The people of this town, Republicans, Democrats, liberals, conservatives, elected me for a reason, and I have delivered. I know the meaning of consensus building, spirit and healthy debate, as well as finding real solutions to get things done, rather than just trying to generate another press release. My experience on the town board, my education in public administration, really equipped me, which I believe to be the next part of the generation of leaders. It's time for less party politics. It's time for more results-driven government. People of this district deserve nothing less. We need a legislator that will take a stance and not blindly follow party leadership. And quite frankly, our problems in Westchester are too big for partisan bickering. Therefore, I ask all the voters in Briarcliff Manor, Ossining Town, Ossining Village, Peekskill, Croton-on-Hudson, and Cortland Manor to join me in this campaign. A campaign to bring about reform, fiscal responsibility, and fair representation. Again, I'd really like to thank the countless number of you that came out to support me. We really have a long fight ahead of us, and I believe we're going to prevail because we're doing the right thing. We're standing up for people. I'm a public servant. That's what I intend to be, and that's all I've ever wanted to be. During my 4 years on the town board, I'm extremely, extremely happy, and I really think that the county needs progress. Again, thank you everyone for coming. Yeah.